We're so excited today. We've got some great guests on here. We've got Brandi and Brandon Ray from Shades Whiter. And me personally, I have used their services and I can tell a big difference in my teeth. So guys, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, welcome. Well, thank you guys for having us on. So I am Brandon and my wife is sitting next to me, Brandi. And so Shades Whiter, it is brand new business. So we started March of this year, March 1st, COVID business, if you will. And we just, so far, I mean, the expectations that we've had, the goals that we're setting for ourselves, it's been surreal. I mean, it really has. It's been an absolute fun experience, just trying to grow a business and just trying to get our names out there, figure out what we should do, what we shouldn't do, learning. I mean, the experience, the journey that we are going on right now, I mean, it's just been terrific.
So what made you want to get into this business? I mean, because I hear from Mike and also other clients that have been your clients that just give nothing but great feedback. So what made you all get into this industry?
So I'll take it back actually a couple of years. So Brandi and I, we wanted to be, ultimately, like we had a thought or an idea that we wanted to be a part of weddings. And so we wanted to open our own venue that's all inclusive. We actually got the idea from my cousin who lived in Georgia. They had an all inclusive wedding. And the venue, I mean, it was just super, super cool. And so we thought we wanted to do that. And then it just kind of rolled and expanded. And so how we got into this is I'm a part-time real estate agent. And I'm in a lot of real estate stuff on Facebook. And so I guess somebody posted one day and they said, hey, this isn't real estate related, but it's investing related. So it piqued my interest. I reached out and they said, well, I've been building this business, Shades Whiter, since last February, March, like beginning of COVID. They said, now I've got a family emergency and we've got to get out. So Brandi and I met with them and really we were like, who doesn't want to get their teeth whitened? This is a great opportunity. And so we took that, we branded it more, we planned out, and here we are.
So did you immediately realize the connection you could make between this business into the wedding industry?
I'll say no, honestly. Not initially.
Okay, you didn't initially think that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I thought the option was always there, and we were wanting to get into the wedding industry. That was kind of our goal. So when this popped up, it was like, well, it's not a venue, but it'll work.
Well, because I see it shows, like, there's people standing there really talking to them in detail about the service and everything that they offer. And Sharon is a wedding planner. I know that this is something that gets brought up.
I created a list. It's a checklist of every single little bitty thing that a bride or groom need to do the 12 months before their wedding. You know, we go from as big as choosing your venue to as small as scheduling a pedicure. And I have teeth whitening on that list. And I'm asked all the time, where do I go to do that? And until I met you guys, I had it on my list, but I really didn't have an answer. So my job was like, Walgreens. That was my answer. I didn't know where to send people. So I was so excited the night that I met you guys and you told me what you did, because I'm like, now I know. But I still, I planned to come. I was waiting. I wanted Mike to go and see how he did. So now
She wanted me to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
But tell me exactly, so that I can give better information to my clients, what exactly happens?
The process.
Yeah,
The process.
So you walk in, you sit down in this big comfy chair. You kind of tell us about what your end goal is in terms of, how white you want your teeth to be, and we can kind of gauge. We have a shade guide. We can gauge where you're starting and where you'd like to end up, and we can kind of guide you. We have several different appointment options, time frames, and that'll of course affect how white your teeth are afterwards. We do a lot of preventative to kind of keep the gums healthy and safe from the gel pens that we use. And then you just kind of sit back, relax, watch Netflix, listen to some music, and by the time you're done, your teeth are shades whiter.
That's awesome.
So it is a one-time deal?
It can be, like I said, it's really kind of up to your goal. We have a lot of people, I mean, of course, it depends on the type of staining foods you take, or if you drink coffee, drink red wine. But you can go once, if you drink nothing but water, then you can walk in there, do it one time, and be good for 6 months before you feel the need to come back.
Wow, I don't know if I necessarily realized it was something that you could go and do once, if that is depending on what your goals are, like you said.
For someone that might have a little more discoloration, how far out from their wedding should they come see you guys? When would be ideal?
Well, I would say maybe start thinking about it 4 or 5 months before. That way, if you want to come back and have multiple appointments and move that many shades whiter, you allow yourself the time to do that.
I'm gonna say it's the most relaxing. I wish it was longer than 30, 45 minutes.
He has
because,
talked about it so much.
I mean, you go in, like she said, you go in and first thing they do is they take a picture of your teeth. So they want to see before. And then they pull out this little chart, and you can match your teeth up to where it is on that chart. And I'm not exaggerating. When it's over, they do the exact same thing, compare it, and you can tell how many shades you have went whiter. And then they take your picture for the after picture. And they'll even send them to you on your cell phone. And you've got your before and after. I mean, it's very easy. It's not painful. It's very relaxing. I could do it once a week.
So,
Except for 1 month.
so when you're talking about red wine drinker, tea, coffee, that type of thing, is it something like where there's maybe a maintenance where you come ever so often?
Yeah, so I recommend, I have to drink at least 1 cup of coffee a day, and depending on the day, I may need more than that. So I like to whiten every 2 to 3 months, just because I like to maintain the white that I have, and I am not willing to give up the coffee or the red wine.
Nothing wrong with that.
But Mike is saying he goes every month. So you have a lot of people that come every month?
We do have several people signed up for our VIP. So they whiten with us one time at full price. We have a remineralizer, so they have some options to kind of just test out everything that we have or everything that we offer. And then they get an invoice every month for $25, and they can choose their day and come once a month for 12 months.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. It really is.
Wow.
And I was actually thinking about this recently. So one goal that I want to have is more like, yes, this can last 6 months to a year. We, like she said, we recommend every, at least 2 to 6 months. Come in for, we've got a 15-minute option if you want to just kind of save some dollars. You can't beat 15 minutes for $69. That's our express session, just kind of like a touch-up. But as far as beauty goes, we're really trying to get into the beauty industry, just like anything else. Females, they go get their nails done, their hair done. Sharon, I heard you mention something earlier about telling your brides, hey, this is what you should do. Your nails, your hair, get your manicure, pedicures, all this. Well, we want to be a part of that conversation as well. And I know you do a great job at telling your brides and grooms, and that's where we see ourselves is, hey, how do we get in front of more people? How do we get that thought in more people's head? Hey, I've got to get my teeth whitened, because it's just not a familiar product yet, but that's our goal.
As a personal care product,
Right.
a personal care service.
Sure.
Yes.
So
When they see it on the checklist, so many of them will say, oh, yeah, I need to do that. But they wouldn't have thought about it if it wasn't on that checklist. So I think the fact that you guys are doing wedding shows and getting brides thinking about that and couples thinking about that. I know one of the people I sent to you guys was a groom, and he literally came up to me, and he went pretty close to his wedding. And he came up to me at rehearsal and had this big smile, and he goes, look at my teeth. He was so excited because he was so conscious about it. And he knew his picture was going to get taken 18 million times. And he felt better and more confident afterwards. So I think it makes a big difference.
And I think that's the thing, we give you the results that you can smile about.
No.
Well, everybody talks about women, but I think men, me working with as many grooms as I work with especially doing the suits also, I mean, the grooms are just as picky on how they look, how they look in their pants, how they look in their smile, everything.
They're also overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
Everything is, the woman needs to do this and the woman needs to do that. And, on my checklist, I have the groom needs to get his hair cut 2 weeks out from the wedding. And nobody ever talks about their appointments that they need to go to. I have a lot of my guys, they want to go, if they have a beard, they want to go get like a professional beard trim and get, prettied up. So I think it's great that you guys are out there. I think it's a great service.
Also, what I like about it is they can start off as a client because they're getting married, but it can carry on and on.
I guarantee
It could
you,
just be for that day, for that special day, but it also has the possibility to carry on.
the groom that I sent, he was so excited and felt so good about the way his teeth looked. He's a client.
I think it's addictive.
He'll be back.
I mean, I really do. And both of y'all, when you smile, you can tell you do this.
Oh,
Because
I'm
both
totally
your teeth-
addicted. At least once a month for me, I'm like, can I wipe my teeth now? Can we go?
Well, I quit drinking coffee
Yeah.
after I started coming to you all. I used to drink
I can't. I've got
those tumblers, at least 2 of those a day. I don't do it anymore.
Wow.
Pam goes, "You're not drinking any coffee?" Well, she didn't like coffee anyway, so we don't. Our coffee pot sits there, but that's it.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, so let's talk about details. So, first of all, they need to make an appointment,
Yes.
okay? And you said an express option. Let's talk about the options.
Sure, absolutely. So we've got a couple different options. So we've got the 15-minute, it's the express session. So that is designed more for just the touch-up sessions. Like I said, that is $69. We have a 30-minute session, which that's what Mike does. That's what our VIP members get. That is our most popular session by far. By far most popular. You're going to see some good results, typically about 3 to 4 shades later. And that is $125. And then our third option, and this is just if you're doing a single session. Our third option is an hour-long session, and that is $179. So then we get into the fun stuff. So Louisville Wedding Network, we have branched out and we've offered a wedding party package. And so bride, groom, bride, just couples nowadays. If they get 8 people collectively to whiten, then they actually get to whiten for free. For
The bride and groom?
The couple, yes,
So your bride
couple,
party
yes.
can come in.
Yep.
And then your bride and groom would be free.
correct.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So
That's a.
Now, you mentioned Louisville Wedding Network. I want to spin back around to
Sure.
that for just a second. You're a member of Louisville Wedding Network.
we are.
I think that's where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got introduced, Mike, we did our wedding actually, and Marguerite with
Isis. Yep.
She designed our cake and created our cake for us. And then we just met so many amazing people throughout the Louisville Wedding Network. We've been members for, I guess, 4 or 5 months now. And just the turnaround for that and the experience that we've had, it's been tremendous as well.
That's
I
good
think
feedback.
the wedding package, is that what you called it? Wedding
Yeah,
package?
wedding party package, yeah.
I mean, Sharon, you deal with that. I mean, I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a
glad
great
you know that,
package.
because I'll start mentioning that now, because I've just been sending the bride and the groom, but I think
And what's super cool about that is we have the availability to come to them. So let's say they're getting ready at their house in the morning or the venue or wherever, we have that capability to come to them.
I
Oh
didn't
my
realize
goodness.
that.
Yeah.
Does it even have to be the event date? If it's just a
So-
get together for the wedding party?
Yeah, we
And we would recommend before the date.
Not necessarily the day of.
Right.
Yes, okay.
Girls' night, guys' night. We can show up, they can be watching TV, eating snacks, whatever. We would just want to have enough room, of course, to set up, have our light, and then somewhere or a sink. That's really the bare minimum.
Well, that makes me think about these questions. What about what you're supposed to do before you get whitened and after? Are you not supposed to drink? Or do you have to be careful about colored liquids or anything after the whitening or before?
So, great question. Yes. So we typically tell people to avoid eating and drinking in up to an hour after. Water, of course, doesn't count. And then try to maintain a white diet for up to 24 hours after whitening. So really staying away from the staining foods. But we do have a remineralizer, which we can apply immediately after whitening. It takes 10 more minutes under the light, and it will completely seal your teeth that you could walk out and have a cup of coffee if that's what you wanted to do.
I do that.
Well, and
I was
honestly,
gonna say, I probably would need that.
I drink flavored water. You know, I'll put some kind of flavoring in my water, although that's about all I drink. But I wondered about, you probably don't want to do that and drink a glass of red wine right after. So,
The sealant, I swear by it. I cannot force myself not to drink a cup of coffee. It just doesn't happen for me. So it's not even a question. I get the sealant every time I whiten.
Not an option.
Yeah, I mean, personal story. So I got done whitening, and one time I didn't do the sealant because a client was coming in, and I just didn't have enough time to do it. And you know those cherries with the seeds in the middle?
Oh, no.
So, and this was after the appointment, but I went home and I ate one of those cherries. It stained my teeth. My teeth were red, and I was like, oh boy, what do I, if I went and brushed my teeth, it still didn't want to come off. And I was like, oh, what do I do? So I just brushed a couple more times, finally came off, but that was without the sealant, so.
So the owner of
Highly
Shade's Whiter
recommend
had red teeth.
Yeah.
You didn't go out of the house for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I know one thing that I found really interesting. I had a dental appointment recently, and I was talking to my dentist about going. She was 100% for it. She was like, absolutely, but she was telling me if you're going to have any dental work done, say you need like a crown or something like that, that you need to whiten before you have that dental work done. So that was just something that kind of shocked me. But because she said they're going to match any dental work they do to the shade of your teeth. So you don't want to do that dental work and then get your teeth whitened because it won't match. So
Well, that's a good question.
I thought that was
Good
interesting,
topic to bring up. If you have veneers, say I have one veneer in the front, does that doesn't work on that, correct?
So the veneer is never going to be whiter than, like she said, the day the dentist put it in. And they pick a shade. So she's 100% right. You would want to whiten before. That way what they're putting in, or the bonding or the veneer, whatever you are having done, they're matching it to your new white teeth, and not, they match your coffee stained teeth or your wine stained teeth, and then you go and whiten, and that's the one tooth that doesn't whiten. Now we do tell people you can still apply the gel to the veneer, to the bonding. It's not gonna hurt anything, and if it's something you've had for years and years and years, it's very possible a topical stain might also lighten up from that, but it will never be whiter than the day the dentist put it in.
that's a really good point.
well, I have to have a crown. Way too much information, I know, but I have to have a crown. And she was telling me, I'm 100% in support of you doing it. I think you should do it.
But do it
But do
before.
it before we do your crown. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So how can guys find you? How can guys?
Guys or girls,
How can
couples.
clients find you guys on social media? How do they schedule an appointment? What's the scoop?
Yeah, great question. And before that, I want to just make a disclaimer, like, we are not dentists. Neither Brandi or I went to dental school, and so to explain the process, and I know we kind of went over this earlier, but it's all self-administered. So we're going to walk you through the process. I can't go in your mouth. Brandi can't go in your mouth. If we did that, you could sue us. So we would like not to be sued, and so that's why it's all self-administered.
But you guide them,
Yeah.
guide it through. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So I like to think of us as the best whitening teachers in Louisville, and that's what we're going to give as a premier service. But yeah, great question. So the easiest way is definitely shadeswhiter.com. So just checking out our website. If you go to social media, we are heavy on social media. We're trying to, like I said earlier, we're trying to really get out there, push ourselves. So Instagram, we're Shades Whiter KY. And so you'll find us on there. Facebook, we're on there. We created TikTok. We're Still
Not
learning.
TikToking it yet?
We're still learning the ropes on that one.
Yeah, that's
but,
fun though.
Yeah. So we've got those 3 forms of social media, and then our biggest one, like I said, just go to our website, shadeswhiter.com. You can call us. Our phone number is 502-444-0634.
He said that a time or two before. Can you all tell that? He's got it down pat.
So are there other companies around, I mean, you know, this is not just locally, so I mean, are there other Shades of Whiter around the United States?
We are the one and
If
only.
you want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our
But you're mobile.
we
Not
are.
that you can necessarily go to several states away, but people can always reach out. And I love the fact about being mobile. I mean, it doesn't even need to be wedding related, even though that's what we're talking about. I mean, it could be family related,
So
friends.
the first time a client comes in, asking for a friend, the first time they come in, do you sit down with them and tell them like how many minutes you recommend they do, or do they just have to pick? I wouldn't know what to pick.
That also a great question. And so I do, like when people call or they have questions, they come in, I'll sit there and I'll because I love questions. I'll sit there and ask them, hey, have you ever done anything like this before? Have you done crest white strips? Tell me about that process. What's going on? Like how did you experience that? And that way I can kind of get a feel for if they've done this before. And then I'll typically say, my recommendation, if you're a first timer, let's do the 30 minutes. That way you're still going to see good results. It's not just the touch up, because typically, people for the first time, they just want to see what it's like for the experience. And I want to give you we want to give you the full experience. And so we want to make it fun, we want to make it relaxing. And so that's my first suggestion to people.
I love that you asked that or went into that detail, because it's not like you have to go to your website. I'm going to pick this package. This is what I'm doing. I have to know all of this before I even come in and have a conversation. I think that's really
Well,
important.
I know I was talking to Mike after he went, because like I said, he was the guinea pig.
Sharon, have you went yet? No, Sharon, I'm going next week.
Yeah. But anyway, he told me that you guys were, you came in with him and you explained what to do and how to do and make sure he was doing everything right. And I think that's something that would be important to me. I know if I came, they'll just put me in the room and Help me to
it's
figure
not
it
like that
out,
at all.
yeah.
I mean, they'll sit you down. I mean, there's a step to go, step by step. And like what he said is they don't touch you. They don't touch your mouth. You do it all. But I mean, it's very, very easy. As soon as you get it done, you sit there. I usually fall asleep.
I was going to say, she was saying watch Netflix, and I'm like, if you let me not have my phone and just sit in the
You
quiet,
can't read your phone.
yeah, just sit in the quiet, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to take a nap.
Because you got these red glasses on, and you're laying back.
I would totally go to sleep.
I do. I love it.
We've had 2 or 3 people already fall asleep in the chair. And what's nice is when you're done, it beeps at you, so it's not like
It's going to wake you
yeah,
up.
it's gonna wake you up. So I mean, take a nap.
You do drool a little bit.
Well, yeah.
A lot.
A lot. I wasn't going to say that, but yes, you do a lot.
Do
Yeah.
people have sensitivity afterwards?
So we do a lot of preventative things to try to avoid any sensitivity. We have a vitamin E pin that we actually have people apply to the gums to avoid that. Everybody's teeth are different, so we have had people come in. If they have sensitivity, then again, I kind of refer back to the sealant, because it's a blue gel that stays on your teeth afterwards. And not only does it help your teeth, it seals them up, but any sensitivity you might have experienced on your gums, it's going to take care of those too.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've done it 4 times, and I've never had sensitivity at all.
That's awesome.
And somebody talking about the crest strips or stuff. I use those, and I'm not kidding. I mean, it tears me up. I'll deal with it because I want my teeth white. But I've never had that experience from you all.
And I think that's the beauty of what we've created, is because that's what we've heard just from people's experience. If they go to the dentist, number 1, it's expensive. Number 2, it really, really painful. On the flip side, you get the stuff like the crest white strips. And yes, it's a little more cost effective, but yes, you get that sensitivity, and it's a long commitment. Like you have to keep up with doing it every night for a week or 2. And it's like, who has time for that? So the beauty of us, we're painless. We pride ourselves on being quick, friendly, just really giving you a great experience.
Well, I know when I talked to my dentist, I expected her to say, you should do that at a dentist's office, you should, and she said, they're gonna do exactly the same thing that I would do here in the office, and they're gonna charge you probably 25 to 50% less. Then I realized it was even a bigger discount than that. So, yeah, and I mean, she was in support of it. She goes, I don't blame you at all. I would absolutely go.
That's great.
Yeah.
One question I have,
I'm a cool dentist.
where are you located?
So we are located in the Mall of St. Matthews. It's inside Sola Salons. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. So there's a couple different Sola Salons in, or I guess around Louisville, and it's a really cool concept. So if you walk in, there are 35 different little studios, and so they've got everything from nails to hair to Botox to tattoos, teeth whitening, of course. So really such a cool concept, and it's just being able to be in that kind of environment, because we've all kind of created a little bond, a little friendship being in a just small enclosure like that. You'll have to come check it out.
So you could come in and get your nails done, get your teeth whitened, get a massage, any of that kind of stuff.
One-stop shop, essentially.
It's inside the Mall St.
Well,
Matthews.
hot dogs.
Yes. So
Kristina and I'll be there.
there you go. Yeah.
Right across the hall from Sam Myers, and they're a member of the Little Wedding Network also.
Yep. So it's
Okay.
close to the Dillards as well. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Anything else that,
This was very informative. Like, I'm ready
I'm
to
glad you
go.
all are here. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for inviting us.
absolutely. So make sure you go check out their website, Shades Whiter.
Shadeswear.com.
Just making sure I got it right. And you can find more information there, reach out to them to schedule an appointment, contact them with any questions. But also don't forget about following them on social media. As Brandon said, they are active on social media and building their following. So take a few minutes to do that. Until next time, everyone, take care. And if you like what you've heard on the podcast, make sure you go and subscribe on your favorite.
And leave a glowing 5-star review.
And you can subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Or you can always visit our website. See you later.